This week on Creator's Cut, I sit down with Freddie Gibbs to talk about not one, but 3 of his music videos. Let's get into Freddie Gordy. Alright, so of course, Freddie Gordy, shot right here in the Bay.
Yeah.
Right there in Oakland. With this video, what of course, rest in peace to the Jacka, of course. Why was that the message that you chose to send with this video?
I hadn't really did anything pertaining to Jack. You know, like me and Jack was really, you know, we was really friends. We was close friends. We had, like I said, I say this all the time. We had a relationship outside of, you know, rap music. And I don't know. Just every time I was riding in my car, I didn't even really too much mention Jack in this song. It was just, you know, every time I would ride in my car and listen to this song, I would think about him because it was just, you know, I feel like I was being so self-reflective. In the song, you know, it was just making me think of things that I needed to change, and you know, people I, you know, need to get away from, and you know, the things I need to separate myself from in order not to, you know, end up in that same position. I mean, because you know, I just feel like, you know, the world just took him too soon. He still had a whole lot to offer to the game, you know, from. You know, especially, you know, being from up here, you know, I mean, a lot of guys don't get the credit or the shine they deserve, you know, and he was definitely one of those guys, one of those pioneers, you know what I'm saying? And I love him to death like a brother, you know. Like I said, aside from all of this, you know, every time I come up here, every time, you know, and I've been living in California over 10 years, you know what I mean, when I come here, and I'm calling PK, you know, or Jack, or Selski, or Chosen, you know, all the homies.
Well, that's the thing. It's like he even rapped about it. You know what I mean? And East Bay, I'm hitting Jack. Like that's real.
So
like,
it's just like, you know, it was like, you know, it's like when I come up here, I still feel weird that I can't, you know, give him a call. You know, it's like, you know, when I walk in my grandma's house, you know, and then I go and I can't, you know, look in the room and see her in there no more. It's when I come, you know, up here, is, you know, I love it here, you know what I mean? And, you know, I feel like Jack was one of the reasons that I love the Bay so much, because, you know, he showed it to me, he showed me what it was. And, you know, when I'm here, I'm just like, you know, walking in the empty, it's like I'm walking in an empty house, you know what I'm saying? So it was just, you know, I didn't even really know what the premise of this video was going to be or anything. I just started just looking in the mirror, like, yo, let's shoot a video, you know what I mean? Just, like I said, just rapping to myself, and, you know. Of course, we got a pretty girl for us. You know, that was cool. That's always good. You know what I mean?
But you can see the self-reflection. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even as far as you talking to yourself in the mirror, like, there's that self-reflection. But even, you know what I mean? Like you say, you come here and it feels like your grandma's house to where it's empty, but it's like you're kind of walking the streets to where it's empty, and it eventually leads to his mural. So it's all there. Like, it's really deep. And then I had read in the YouTube comments, someone's like, after each line, you're kind of like gasping for air. Yeah. Was that something that just kind of happened, or it was intentional, or how did that come about in this song?
I think I was probably loaded when I made this song or something like that.
Makes sense.
Because, you know, this, like I said, this is a real reflective type of record. So I know it's all like one take, so there ain't no like stops, and so that's probably why. And if I was gasping for air, then it's probably because I was rapping for 3 minutes, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely. And I probably left those breaths in there just to show people that you know.
It was one take.
Yeah, not only that, it's this shit coming from the heart. You know what I mean? And you know, this ain't no shit that I'm just, you know, writing down and just going in there and spitting. This ain't no, you know, written speech. You know what I mean? This is some real shit.
And I think the line that stands out to a lot of people is, "Are you a dope fiend or a dope boy?"
Correct.
And that, like, that's huge. Like, because you see people selling dope just to get money to buy lean, and
Exactly.
you know what I mean, to do things like that.
I've been there before, and you know, I used to sell lean just so I could drink it. And I'd be like, man, what is this? I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm like, man, this ain't nothing. This is kind of like unlike other drugs that I've sold. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm not selling no cocaine so I could do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, weed, that's easy to smoke. You know what I'm saying? That's you don't gotta smoke up all your product to sell weed. But like lean, you drinking up everything. And it's just like, you know, I look at, you know, these kids nowadays, man, on this lean and these Xannies and all these perks and all that. And, you know, they looking like the, you know, the heroin addicts that, you know, we grew up, you know, serving. That's what they look like. You know, they on the corner, they leaned out, they sleepy. You know, it's just non-productive, man. And I'm not knocking nobody's drug usage, man, because I've, you know, rapped about it and done it and been you know, immersed in the drug usage, you know what I mean, before myself. But, you know, I just think, you know, to be a, you know, productive person, man, you know, I just don't think that you could be on drugs all day. You know what I mean? I don't, you know, whatever you do in your spare time, your downtime, when you're not taking care of your kids, when you're not taking care of your money, then cool. But, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it's just, you know, sometimes we overdo things. Anything in excess is bad.
It's just weird. Like, I talk about it a lot with people in my circle and stuff like that. But it seems like there's been a shift from, like, rappers talking about selling drugs to rappers talking about doing drugs.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's, to me, that's so weird. Because I'm like, I would rather hear somebody rap about selling drugs all day. Because there's a hustle there. You know what I mean? Like you said, like, there's productivity.
Everybody don't sell drugs, though, man. It's like, you know, a lot of that stuff is fictitious.
That's very true.
And, you know, we just got a bunch of rich dope fiends. The rap game.
It's so weird. Like,
you know what I mean? And, I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. You don't even gotta rap about drugs, period.
No, not at all.
To be a good rapper or be, you know, somebody, a man of respect in this game. You know what I mean? I just, you know, it's just right now it's just the drugs and the music culture is so heavy. It's just super heavy. You know what I mean? And, you know, a lot of guys don't want to get in this game. They think, you know, you got to be high off all of that stuff to do that. You know what I mean? Just like, you know, in the 50s and 60s, I'm pretty sure that a lot of guys that wanted to be close to Ray Charles probably did some heroin. Yeah. Let's just keep it real. Yeah. They probably was doing that to get close to Jimi Hendrix or, you know, to get on their levels or, you know, it was just a cool thing to do at the time. You know what I mean? And, you know, times change and, you know, 30 years later, it's going to be a new drug.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But I think it's interesting that you kind of see those people doing those drugs as heroin addicts. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people won't say that. You know what I mean?
It's all opiates.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been there before. I've been, you know, on pills heavy and on, you know, syrup heavy, very heavy. You know, it ain't nowhere to be. You know, and I just feel like, you know, a lot of the people around me that really love me should have told me that I shouldn't have been there doing that. You know what I mean?
It's very interesting. Yeah.
And the ones that did.
Shout out to them. That's real. But that's the thing is, like, people get so caught up in it that nobody wants to tell anybody anything. Nobody really wants to take accountability for it. Like, there's this weird problem that you get yourself into that's even bigger than the actual drugs. It's like, wait, where? And of course, there's all the stigmas of even getting help. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a lot of layers to it. But
yeah, you're never too big to get help, man.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? A lot of people think they too big for that. You know what I mean? But you're never too big for that. You know what I mean? And help just don't mean going to see a counselor or going to rehab. It could mean, you know, focusing your attention on something else positive. You know what I mean?
If you somehow missed the episodes for Thuggin' and Fucking Up the Count, check them out right there. And make sure you don't miss New Creators Cut every Friday by hitting that subscribe button.